All right, as always on a Friday, we start to wind things down to get you into the weekend feeling. And this morning, we bring you a special conversation ahead of one of South Africa's most anticipated cultural events. It's the Gqeberha Jazz Experience 2025. From soul-stirring melodies to visionary urban renewal, the Eastern Cape is transforming into a national beacon of music and development. And joining us in studio is the celebrated and socially conscious musician, let me add beautiful Simphiwe as well, whose voice and message have defined generations. And Anele Qaba, he of course is the CEO of the Mandela Bay Development Agency, one of the key drivers of the Jazz on the Lake experience. So nice to have both of you in studio with us today.
Thank you.
When I saw it was happening and I thought, oh, are you guys coming in or are we going to be speaking to you virtually? But here you are in studio, so I'm so glad. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, whenever I hear Simphiwe that you're coming into studio, it's always a highlight, and it's just a beautiful moment to catch up with you. When is that album coming? I'm not even gonna go through the niceties. We're expecting it this year. When?
Okay. I have suffered a few setbacks here and there. But so here's the plan. The plan is to release Moya, the live album, and then to release a 20th celebration vinyl album, Zandisile, like the album Zandisile. And then I'm taking a sabbatical, not a sabbatical necessarily, like residence in Norway to work more on the album. And I've got an artist that I'm going to work with who I absolutely love and the entire world loves. We'll do a song together. So you are in my thoughts.
Okay.
I understand how you feel.
Yeah.
But in that very same breath, 20 years in the game, 4 beautiful albums. I've given you guys a lot.
You have.
Have I not?
And you deserve the space. You deserve the space because we know when you come back, it's going to be incredible. So wait, so you're actually taking a bit of a sabbatical to Norway?
Yes, I've been offered residence there, just a month.
Okay.
To just collect my thoughts and just be out, with nature and the studio there.
Beautiful.
Yes, so I am working on stuff.
You're going to love it. Only because I was there recently, and it is just, when you say you want to be in touch with something,
yes,
you're going to get in touch with whatever you're looking for.
Yes, I've also been there before. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, it's just away from everything you know, and it's just something completely beautiful.
Yes.
Oh, I'm going to quiz you more in a moment. So, Anele, it's us women. We're having a conversation ahead of Women's Day. That's what we do best. You have got such a brilliant lineup. You really do. I mean, this is just one of the artists that are performing. Talk to us about what we're expecting on the 16th.
Thank you, Leon. I think maybe let me start by saying Happy Women's Day in advance to both of you and to all the responsible women in our country. Leanne, what we've done in line with our vision as a development agency of transforming urban spaces, we've then came up with this good idea of the Jazz on the Lake, because we've got a beautiful lake that is up there. But the only way that we could make it beautiful and we could make it work was to bring in this lineup, just to ensure that, again, we have a product that will be able to attract people to go back to the lake. Because what we have done, or what had happened in our city, people started to move away from the inner city or the CBD of the city. So the only way to attract people to go back to such a space would be to bring up this type of an event so that we can have people going out there to enjoy the Jazz on the Lake. So the lineup, in fact, is one of the best in the country, to a point that the tickets were sold out 2 weeks before the actual 16th. It's just because of that lineup.
So we're basically here to brag. That's really it. So yes. don't buy tickets. You can't. It's full to the. I mean, with a lineup like Thandiswa Mazwai, Zonke, Simphiwe Dana, Ringo.
Yes.
Who am I missing?
Vusinova, 047, Lala Tuxin, Kevin Momo, and there's more.
Oh,
Yes.
that's amazing. So, I mean, for you, of course, Simphiwe, I mean, this is your home province. This is your place. So, you know, this is something where, you know, you can go. I mean, you were born in Butterworth. You were raised in Lusikisiki. I mean, you've just got such a beautiful history, the language, the repertoire, the stories. I mean, what are you hoping to sort of put out on that stage?
Well, I did study in Gqeberha for 2 years, so I do know the place quite well. I've not had the pleasure of performing there enough times. And as someone who, when I was studying there, I had these dreams of being a musician, and I was in this band, hip-hop band. I would sing their hooks for them. To now, I guess, come back as a fully fledged musician who's accomplished. It's quite something to go back to the place where I dreamt and to come back and say, I fulfilled that dream.
Yeah.
That's quite something.
That is quite something. It's a beautiful feeling to sort of come back and retrace your steps to,
Yes.
you know, where it all started for you. And you have changed so much. I mean, 20 years is a beautiful celebration. And you've also been a soundtrack to the history of the country over the last 20 years. But I was reading an article lately about where you're sort of a little disappointed about where we are as a country. I don't think you're alone. I think there are a lot of people who feel that way. But what is getting to you most?
I think the idea of a rainbow nation is crumbling. We were not necessarily united based on tangible, workable unity goals, perhaps. And now that's coming back to bite us. That's one. So you're seeing a lot of extreme commentary, extremist commentary that is out there, one. And then two, the issue of corruption. Things have come to a head now. Our quality of life is being eroded severely. Electricity is sky high. Everything's expensive. We understood when it was during COVID why things went up, but why did they not go down afterwards? So there's just a lot that makes the normal citizen jaded with regards to the prospects for our country. Yeah. And I think like the most important thing is that life is becoming unaffordable, and we don't know why. And then lastly, our immigration policies, they need a revisit or a rethink, because as much as we can speak of Ubuntu, if our Ubuntu does not start with taking care of our own, then what value does it have? Yeah. So there's a lot of things that as a country that we need to look at to have a more tangible way to grow as a country. And also unity is something that it has to come from everybody. It cannot be premised on just one group of people being welcoming and being accepting. We all have to exhibit a love for our country and our people. Yeah. And us as a people, see ourselves as one with one goal, how we grow this economy. Indeed.
Unity is earned in a country. It's not something that you can just press a button and it happens, because it hasn't. And that's something we need to work on very hard. That's what I love about the arts. And you know, when you put together something like this, it's a feel-good zone.
Yes.
We know that. But at the same time, messages like this, these are tough times for South Africans. It's not, we're not going to hide away from it, but it is a moment to shine the spotlight on the incredible people that help us through these times, even though they struggle. You know, and that's one thing we must realize about artists, is that we look to you for happiness and joy and find the love in the music, where you are going through so much as well. And we have to acknowledge and appreciate you for that. But, you know, the kind of feeling you want to get from this, talk to us about it.
Yeah, you correctly, and just to add on what she was saying, if you look at sport and music, they are there for social cohesion, and they enforces that. So it is time. that our people, especially in Gqeberha, they can start to relax a bit, but also we need to give hope to some of the artists that are still, battling to make it, who still wants to be like her tomorrow. Then there's no other way of doing it other than providing platforms of this nature so that at least they can have at least a hope. Beyond the hope, there are a number of things that we need to do to ensure that these people do partake in any of the sectors, because you've seen with what is happening currently with the tariffs that are coming up from the US, with the auto industry, which is the
Eastern Cape's going to be hit hard.
Yes, it's hit hard. So we need to come up with the initiatives of this nature. We need to look at the creative industries. We need to look at developing that particular sector, because in my own view, this is one of the easiest, because these people, they don't need to be employed. All they just need the support. And if we provide the support, they are able to make a living out of it. And it is our responsibility, therefore, including all other government entities and agencies, that we need to come together, provide the infrastructure necessary for the development of the artists in our city, so that they don't have to come to Gauteng or to Johannesburg in order for them to be able to make it in the industry. So as part of our role as a development agency, we need to ensure that, again, we transform urban spaces. But we can't just transform urban spaces. They are people. So we need to do it in a way that is going to translate to all the social ills, that is dealing with the social ills, and also translate to the economic spin-offs. If we are not doing it that way, we just do events for the sake of doing the events. And it's translating to nothing, and it's just fun. On the 16th, people will come and have fun, but beyond the 16th, what is it that we are doing that is going to help deal with the issues of unemployment, with the development of the sector, with the support that needs to be given to young people and upcoming artists in the Eastern Cape? So it doesn't end on the 16th for us. It's something that we need to continue pushing, so that we ensure that this particular sector is one of the sectors that can contribute to the livelihoods of those that are poor, those that are battling in our city, which is Gqeberha.
Yeah, nice to hear the machinery and the thought behind just a festival, because it's not just a jazz festival. There's a lot, obviously, behind this as well. Simphiwe, I also want to come to you. We are sitting on the brink of Women's Day. This is Women's Month in South Africa. We're very lucky that we dedicate a month. I don't think that's good enough, but that's what we do. And we're wearing our cricket T-shirts for gender-based violence, which there's a lot to celebrate for women in the country in how far as we've come, but there is still so much to worry about. That's the one issue we're looking at. What plagues you for the women in this country?
Well, I have to note that August being Women's Month, it's funny that the stats usually spike when it comes to GBV in the month of August. I don't know what it means, but our issues do not necessarily stem from the emasculation of the men, which is what is bandied about, as one of the reasons, or the main reasons. When a man feels emasculated, like they must get power from somewhere. I think that notion has got no real basis anywhere. I think if we want to look at GBV holistically, we have to understand that religion and culture, they also play a big role in objectifying women, and therefore making them prey to violence, because they are seen as less. There are all of these rules that have been created by men. A woman must not. A woman must not. So if they do this, then they game. Almost like women put themselves in these situations, whereas we did not create these laws. So we have to have a rethink when it comes to religion and how it portrays women, and also our different traditional practices and how they portray women or what is expected of a woman. Because for me, at the core of this issue is objectification.
Absolutely. Simphiwe, you're one of those people that we need to talk to all day. There's just so much going on in your mind. But the last question, I leave it on. You did hint that the next album you release, whenever it is, maybe your last album. Please tell me that's not true. Is that just a bad rumor?
I think I say this every other 4 years or 5 years.
Okay, good. Then I'm leaving it there. I'm leaving it there. There is a lot of hope. She's not going anywhere. We're not going to let her go anywhere. Thank you so much. Thank you. And Simphiwe, I think you're performing for us. So we've got a beautiful gift for you after the Simphiwe Dana and Anele Qaba, the CEO of the Mandela Bay Development Agency, talking to us about that sold-out Gqeberha Jazz Experience 2025. So I didn't need to sell tickets today. It's just having a beautiful in-depth conversation, which is always a pleasure.